Hey kids, it's Mark Miller, Trans42 live from the mothership. Roy's with me, guiding me down. How you doing, Roy?
I'm here. Yeah, little to the left, Mark. Otherwise, you're gonna miss the planet.
It's gonna just, yeah, it's over. There we go. So things are getting into place with regards to moving to Valencia, Spain. Looks like it's going to happen at the end of this month. Probably take a week off for the shows. Maybe we'll see how quickly I can get back to, I'm working right now to get internet remotely set up. Things are a little trickier in Spain. Spain says you've got to essentially have a number we can track you with before you can open a bank account. And you need a bank account before you can, get internet and pay your bills and things like that. And you need it before you can rent a place. But in order to get a number, you need to be renting a place. Something like that. So anyway, we're like, jumping through some hoops here to make it all work. We've now officially secured a place that we're renting. It appears. Or there's a massive scam that we'll find out about as we arrive.
Oh, no. I'm sure it'll all go fine.
Yeah. So
let's not let it be a scam.
Yeah. So we have the place. We're working to have someone accept deliveries before we get there. So the place is filled up with essentially, Amazonian deliveries.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got a new studio layout. My new studio layout is, I think, going to be cool.
Yeah?
Yeah. Should I show you how insane it was? Sometimes I go, sometimes I get even a little too autistic for me. I'm going to show you.
Okay.
This is how I got. This is what happened. So I'm trying to. I've got a goal.
Debates, should he show us the specifics? Decides immediately to move to extremely prepared PowerPoint presentation.
This was my work over the weekend. The goal is, I have two goals. One is, I want to be able, see how my arms kind of fade out right here?
Yeah.
I want to be able to go anywhere on this screen. If I want to stand up and reach over there, I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to touch this as it comes down.
Yeah.
Pudding's got some code in the chat room there. It's typed in for us. Thanks, Pudding, for that. We'll probably use that later today. I'm going to copy that to the clipboard.
Hey, Pudding.
Good to have you with us. So I want my arms to be able to go.
You need to break out of the artificially created box there, don't you?
Yeah. So we've got a number of challenges. In order to get my arms on screen, we either need to go to a super wide angle lens, like a fisheye lens, which I'm like, no, not going to do that. Or we need to move the camera further away. Well, if we've moved the camera further away,
you've got the problem of the monitor that it can't see through.
Yeah, the monitor's blocking. So I'm starting to run.
So from your diagram, you're going to move the monitor further away.
Well, that's kind of what I'm looking at. But that's one constraint. The other constraint that I was trying to hit was I want the camera to be looking at me. I want to be looking into the camera directly when I'm looking at the code.
Sure.
Does that make sense? So when I'm looking at the code, I want to look right in the camera. Because I think it'll, offer, more of a personal connection as if I wasn't so, autistic. So anyway, I this is my first try. Then I've got, there you go, sheet of glass kind of thing. I'm kind of setting this thing up. See what's going on here?
Wow.
I start to build it. And then I start to realize, okay, now I need blackout here and here because I can't have any light. So basically light goes one way, this way towards me, but light also goes this way and then reflects back over there into the camera, right?
Yep.
But I can't have anything coming into the glass and coming back to me, otherwise I won't be able to see the monitor.
Surly Dad is in the house.
That would be unnerving, wouldn't it? Looking right into the camera? Well, maybe we'll use that. We'll copy that to the clipboard and use that paragraph a little later. So I'm like running down the whole thing, and I ultimately I get to a point where I'm like, I get to this. Notice what I'm doing. Look at what I'm doing. Part of the reason I'm doing,
detonating a room by the look of it.
yeah, but why am I doing this? Because I'm off to the right, which means I've got to be to the left here because the thing is going to be reversed, right? So I've got to be on the left side because we're going to get 1920 by 1080 in video's got to go from corner to corner. I've got to be a small portion of that. Okay, that's kind of what's going on. So then anyway, I go from here and I start going to here. I'm like, wait a second. And then I'm like, okay. And then I say, okay, you know what? Maybe not too bad. Now notice what's going on. There's a couple problems here with this. See this guy? This guy can only fit, this monitor can only fit here. That means this monitor is way off to the side, and I've got a big gap between my main monitor right here that I see indicated by those lines and that one. They're not right next to each other. I've got a similar gap over here. I've got a similar problem on this side. So even though I got a hard on this one, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Then I work this problem a lot. And in each one of these, I'm not sure if I've got these down here. Yeah, in each one, in some of these, I'm like, I put notes. I'm like, oh yeah, this isn't going to work because like I try this and this, and then I've got this one work because the reflection off the back of the glass bouncing light into the camera, right? Because what's going to happen is this monitor is going to be in. Wait, is it that true? No, it's this monitor is in this reflection going into the camera. See that? So this monitor couldn't be here for that. Yeah. How busy was your weekend? Yeah. This is.
See, at the start of this, Mark says, would you like to see the plans for my new studio? And I'm thinking, oh, sure, we're going to lay out a few things here. It'll be nice and comfortable. The same as any of us would, right? Our ideal desk in a location with computers around us. No, Mark obviously is moving up from webcam to full TV camera.
I'm trying.
He's going to have like a production suite of people behind just to keep this running.
Yeah, this is me measuring the width of the camera and the current lens, the current lens on the camera, and how far away I have to get, and I need to essentially get to about 68 inches away from the camera in order to get that positioning. Did any of the normal people family come and drag you to reality at any point, such as Karen? No, nobody did this. Then I started looking at the height as well, because I'm looking away, how much height is in here. Oh my gosh, look at, you can kind of see, this doesn't end. Look at this right here. I'm like, that will fail. This one fails, right? I'm going through all of these. Look at this. This is the side view. I'm trying to get the monitors underneath and the camera on top to make this work, right? And basically, ultimately, if I had a lot more time and I didn't care so much about wasting my time trying things that were likely to fail, and I had a lot more money, I would just keep going. But ultimately, I said, you know what? I'm going to have to compromise. And my compromise, hold on a second. I got another one because it's a little cleaner. I'll show you my compromise. My compromise looks like this. So this is the space I have right here. This is like a garage. This space, by the way, was calculated using pictures. I got a picture of this door in this corner, and I looked up what's the average door length in Spain, and it gave me two sizes, and I knew it wasn't the shorter size because I walked through that door. And so I need to get my sticky toffee pudding from the oven. All right, go get that, Surly. Let us know how that's going. So I was able. So
you've done all the three-dimensional trig to work out the actual heights of the walls and the lengths of things based on samples from the photography.
Right. I have multiple pictures of the room, and I'm really confident about this, and I'm pretty confident about this, and then my confidence wanes as I move over to this side. But this is a car fits through here. This is the garage door right here. And so I have it's a pretty good sense. And I've got enough room that if I'm wrong, it'll be okay. Yeah. So this is what it's going to look like. It's actually not this one. It's going to be this one. I'm not going to use 43. So this is the width. So 43-inch width is it's a 48-inch diagonal monitor. They're kind of expensive and they're hard to get delivered to Spain. I can't actually get this one, I think, there, but I can get this monitor delivered. And this gets me in a not bad situation right here. It gets me closer. I'm going to put the camera on top of the monitor. It's going to be not too bad. And that's where we get to, Surly's comment, isn't that going to be unnerving if you're looking us right in the eyes as you're writing the code? I'm like, yeah, okay. I don't know. I don't think so. But I think with a slightly wider angle and this position, I can get most of what I want. That's what I think. And I get the monitors close to each other like this. So they're going to be far away. The other problem with these that I didn't talk about, but in all of these, because I have one monitor that's 52 inches and the others that are much closer or different widths, I need different set of glasses if I'm looking here or here or here, because I don't have, my super eyes anymore, right? So a lot of these I was like, oh yeah, really, I just got to go with this. So this is what it's going to look like. I'll have blackout curtains around here. I'll have lights up over in this space. But the idea is I should be able to have a much wider range on green screen. That's what I'm going for.
This is a lot of effort to be able to stick your hands in the air.
Yeah, but how cool is it? But it's all.
Don't get me wrong. I fully behind the plan. I recently upgraded my own monitor. I had a single 22-inch monitor on my desk at home, and I thought, I'm not dealing with that any longer. I need a second one, right? And I accidentally bought a couple of 27-inch monitors instead.
Beautiful. That's awesome. Up close, those are giant, right? Those are
huge. I'm looking at them going, wow, did I do this? They wouldn't quite fit at first. I've kind of had to tilt them slightly. Okay. So they kind of face inwards.
Surly says, ask Jeff Fritz how he does a standing desk arrangement. I'll take a look at it. I'll ask him.
Yeah, that's good.
I'll ask him. But, and I was thinking about asking the folks out there, but after spending like hours on this, running through all the angles and stuff like this, I ultimately decided this was the safest, lowest cost approach to getting most of what I want. He does a segment where he stands up in front of the code. Oh, nice. That's super cool. I haven't seen that. That's part of his new setup. Yeah, well, I could do that. Right? Because of this, I can bring this one like here. Like something like that. I could even put another monitor here that I don't use unless it's just this monitor here is a duplicate of this one. Right? Kind of thing. I could throw that there and then stand over here with another green screen right here. Maybe. This desk would probably be in the way of that shot though. So I'd have to have the camera up higher, I think. But it could do it.
Interesting.
Yeah. Cool. Anyway, yeah, interesting possibilities. It's all possible. That's kind of what we're looking at. Anyway, close that down there. Close that down. Anyway, when I did this, when I couldn't stop doing this and I kept going through all these, I realized, oh, geez, yeah, I'm so autistic. I haven't shaken it. I thought maybe
let's be clear though, Mark. It was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
Well,
you're enjoying yourself with this.
Going from not knowing,
I could do this or this. Or...
Well, going from not knowing to knowing that just about everything I try is failing.
You know what I mean?
Fun. Well, but I mean, it's better than not knowing, right? In other words, really understanding. Look, I have a strong understanding that this problem is these two constraints are fighting each other. And to really nail it, I'm going to need a large sheet of glass and total control of the lighting. And I haven't done any tests yet on what happens if I get a large sheet of glass and I try to shoot an image through it. Does it degrade quality?
That was the one that I wonder about. Yeah, I mean, I know that's a similar technique used by some of the old magicians on stage to do the sort of ghostly apparition kind of logic.
Sure. And
they always had fairly dark lighting in those sort of theaters.
Right.
And then they got to control the light very specifically, but it still gave, and in fairness, it's what they were after, it gave this kind of apparition. Now, do you necessarily want a ghostly monitor? Can you get something more tangible using that technique?
I think I can. By the way, when I was a kid, I built something. Here's another impact or another sense of why I'm, another of who's the crazy kid. But I built something that looked like this, I think, something along these lines. It was, it had an eye hole right up at the top like this. So you look in through here like this. It had a sheet of glass in it. This is made out of wood. I made this out of wood. It had a sheet of glass on it here. it had, this is crazy actually, as I now start to think about it. So this is a sheet of glass. Hold on, let me give this a different color here. So there's a sheet of glass right there. It had a picture here. Let's make that this color. And it had another picture here. It was a totally enclosed box. And it had a light here and a separate light here. And mind you, I was a kid when I did this. Hold on, let me get this color I wanted to do. We'll do that. And it had two lights here and here. And it had a potentiometer that I could dial which one of these was on and which one of these was off. So I could fade from one to the other. So I had a picture of my neighbor here and a picture of a skeleton head here. So their face here and the skeleton head here. And I was showing my neighbor's parents. So the neighbor was like a kid, friend of mine, right? And they were like, they were both terrified. They were both impressed with the technology and terrified that their son, the subject was their son becoming dead and turning into a skull. Their face turning into a skull as you turn the knob. They were both, they looked at me like what's wrong with you a little bit. Certainly that says Brent Ozar had a setup with a camera above his monitor for regular coding with green screen behind him and a camera on the side at 90 degrees where he would stop and turn towards when answering questions or talking to users or chastising them. Hector! Hey there, you're back. Yes, we are, Hector. Welcome. That's a real interesting idea, the side camera. I'm totally on board with it. I'm already looking at Camlink Pro, which I'm going to have to import to Spain because I can't order it from Amazon.es. I have to order it. One of the ways is to order it through the States and then ship it into Spain. Excuse me, which is what I'm intending to do. Anyway, I built this thing. This was crazy. I was like, I don't know, maybe 13 or something when I did that thing. Fabricated the wood, put the glass in, used hot glue on the sides, did the electronics, sealed it all up. This was just a hole. It wasn't really a lens. The hole was on that side. Anyway, that was crazy me. Good thing I don't do that stuff anymore. What are we doing today, Rory? You don't know, because I decide.
No idea.
I'm the guy who decides.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to guess it has something to do with TaleSpire, though.
Yeah, by the way, Surly said, looks like a cool idea for Halloween. I think I did it around Halloween, as I recall. It was totally Halloween inspired, as I recall. Yeah, by the way, kids, if you're not sure who that is on the phone with me, I
do like the theme.
I'm so cool. I was just checking myself out. I got the moves. I don't know what the whole family thinks I'm a nerd, but I'm telling you, I got the moves.
Where are they getting that idea?
Where are they getting that idea?
That's slander, surely.
All right, let's talk about walls. There's a couple things I want to do.
Okay. There's
two types of walls, by the way. Rings and lines. So the rules say... Let's bring up the rules so you can see the official...
Is a ring wall like an encasing wall that just goes around you?
It is. It is. So let's bring up Wall of Fire. Well, let's look at that. And it says you can make the wall up to 60 feet long, which we've already done, or a ringed wall up to 20 feet in diameter, 20 feet high, 1 foot thick. So the wall's got a ring capability. The wall, and now, by the way, whenever a spell has either or options, what I've been doing, which I really, really like, is I've been creating 2 spells for it. So over here, I've already done that. I've got Wall of Fire and Ringed Wall of Fire because they have different things. The target in this case is a cylinder. Over here, the target is a wall.
And it's not like it's a random decision which one will get picked. The character's just going to say, I'm now going to do this one. So you can actively pick the right one. It's very simple, very nice and, flexible.
Yeah. So what I've done over here on the Dungeon Masters page here, little cutie, go into her weapons right here, go into her Staff of Fire. Wall of Fire now used to cast it. Now it opens up and gives you some choices here. So you can do a line or a ring. I need to come up here. Let's copy this attack button, put it in the same spot down here. I'm getting pretty good at creating Stream Deck UI, right?
It's quite nice that you can disguise a folder as an action.
Yeah.
And reveal the extra steps. It's really good.
Yeah, I've kind of got radial menus going here, right? My fingers here, my index fingers here. I press it, and now I just move here or here to get the next one.
That's the nice way to do it, yeah.
Yeah, and if there's no consequences, I could just do that. But because there's consequences with this, I'm going to, in other words, it's going to start something up that maybe I want to undo. I'm going to put them side by side here. So I've got line and ring as the choices here. There's another kind of piece I want to do here. And I'm not sure what to call this yet. I think I want to call it like damage flip is what I think I want to call it. Because the Ring of Fire, particularly the Ring of Fire, has the ability for you to specify which side has damage. Which side has damage?
Oh, I see.
The
So
left
you
or the
can
right?
create a ring of fire ring around you where the fire is sort of on the outside and damages anything that approaches, or it can be on the inside and damages the thing you're encircling.
Right, exactly. So I think damage. What's my damage going to look like? How many points do I have? That could look like damage. All right, so I'm going to do this for my icon to represent damage. I'll have kind of a hollow one on one side and a... Is that right? Or should I have two of these? Oh, I could have two buttons and it could indicate which side the damage is on. I like that. So one side's damage is going to be on the... Basically, for the purposes of, you know, this discussion and this rule, I'm going to say, I'm going to call these left and right. So I'm going to say, let's see, we'll do that as damage there. I think I want to do a, go into properties on this, give it a stroke and make it be a red like that. So that'll be my damage there. And over on this side, I don't know, like something kind of darker. So it's lower contrast like that. And this, I think, wants kind of a medium contrast in here too for this one. Okay, so this will be damage left. And we'll flip it and create a damage right. So let's save this out. We're going to call this blog images. Let's go to Stream Deck icons. Spells. Should I put it in spells? No, it's more, I guess I'll throw it in here. I don't know. No, I'll put it in spells. I'll put it in spells. And so we're going to call this damage left and damage right. We'll create another one called damage right. So this is damage left. Yes. And then let's duplicate it. Let's merge everything. Merge all layers. And then let's flip it. And then let's save it and call it damage right.
So is this a decision you can make for any wall that has damage or just for certain types?
No, it's not. By the way, Hector says hi to you, Rory, as well.
Hey, Hector.
Surly says it's only slender if it's not true.
No comment.
All right. So let's copy this. Let's paste this here. We're going to say... Is it just a regular command? I think it might be a regular command. Damage, flip, maybe like that. And we're going to call this right. Let's go find this. There it is right there. I like that. That can totally work for me. Copy, put one over here. I was going to just have it be a toggle, but I don't like that anymore, I think. And left. And we'll call this left. And call this left. And I might add two more buttons for inside and outside. I might. But they're going to essentially do the same thing. Because when we create the ring, we're going to have a starting position. As we move around, our left will, I think, be the inside. If we go around counterclockwise. Or anti-clockwise if you're in, in the UK. So, but at any rate, we want to make these work right here. So one of the things on my mind is this: left and right damage. I actually have assets that I built to support this. The assets are unfortunately, here it is, firewall damage. Nope, that's not it. Hold on. Did I make a note of this? Hope I did. Up in walls. I got partway there. Firewall sides is one of them. But we're in R3. Firewall, what's this one say? Firewall damage. But firewall damage is not the one I'm looking for. It's another one. But I don't see here. Let's do this. Firewall. Just one. Oh. Wall. No. Now I'm... Oh. I didn't grab this and drag it into here. That's my problem. But for some reason I can't drag it into there. Is it because it's find results? There. Okay, that's what it was. Firewall side damage. This is the one I want. So look at what I've done. I've got left and right. By default, I'm turning on left and turning off right.
Okay.
Okay? So that's what I'm doing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this effect down, and when that button comes, I'm going to go find the effect, find all of the effects that have been laid down for the wall, see if they've got children named left or right, and if they do, I'm going to go, set the left one.
Toggle entire sort of hierarchies, really.
Exactly. And so what that's done, so I've got damage for the firewall. I've got, indicators that which side the damage is on.
Is there a default which is, both sides?
No. And it only...
Okay, so a wall of fire always projects in a direction.
Yes, the wall of fire does. And guess what? I think no other walls do. I'm pretty sure. In my D&D walls, I've got an option right here somewhere, I think. One-sided. Yeah, that's the only one. Fire is the only one-sided wall. I'm still not bringing this data in. Right now, it's just a collection of data, but I want to do that as well. And I want to store...
When you say one-sided, that's damage is one-sided. There's still a wall from both sides' perspective, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just that one side of the wall does no damage, and one side of the wall does damage up to 10 feet in. Okay? So that's what it is. So things I want to do. Let's duplicate this. What is my duplicate command? Control D, there it is. Things I want to do. I've got a lot of things I want to do. I want to import the wall data and use it. I want to track walls in the game. Okay? Because we got all kinds of things. We got missile attacks. Walls can affect ranged attacks. Ranged attacks can be affected.
So if you've got a wall between you and the person targeted, the missile's going to hit the wall first, potentially absorb some or all of its damage before maybe carrying on if it manages to breach it at all.
Right. So that's represented by on ranged roll and on ranged hit. So on ranged roll means I'm doing a ranged attack. And so here, for example, if I'm doing a ranged attack through water, we're going to add disadvantage.
Okay.
And if we make a hit and the fire is damage and the damage is fire, we're going to cut that in half. And if the damage was cold, we're going to freeze a wall section, giving it armor class 5, 15 hit points.
Okay.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
It's going to get complicated, but it does make sense.
It's going to get complicated. I know, not my fault, man. I didn't make all these crazy rules. But yeah, so it's like I'm a little bit like, how much of this do I want to make? Put on make it a burden of the engine, and how much do I want to put it on the DM? And I'm kind of leaning in the same direction as I was when I was trying to solve the problem of my new studio. In other words, I'm just going to keep running at this thing with
force and ignorance.
Because
Disclaimer. Mark doesn't know jack.
but I find out with brute force and ignorance. That's what we're gonna find out, Jack.
yeah.
That's what we're gonna do. So I need to have the events fired, right?
Sure.
We need to track the
Yeah.
walls in the game because of a lot of reasons. Because, just because, ranged attacks.
That's a good reason to start with that.
Wall sections can be destroyed or
Yes.
converted. Like a wall of water can be turned into a wall of ice.
Yep.
Yeah, which means we need to support that in the game. Support both in game and with the effects. Well, if we're going to support it with the effects, we need to know, that implies we need to know the coordinates of every section or segment of the wall. Thindall's out there. Hey, Thindall. So glad you're with us. Welcome. How's the rushing of the code today? Well, we're just kind of right now doing a lot of talking and kind of chatting.
A lot of planning.
A lot of planning.
Strategizing.
Just came in. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, well, this is what we're looking at. Wall D&D, Dungeons and Dragons wall logic. That's what we're looking at. So there's a lot of things I want to do. I want to track the walls in the game. That means we need to track the coordinates of every section of the wall. Anytime a missile, a ranged attack goes off, we need to determine if it's going through the wall or not.
Yep.
And, I can just see people saying, I'm shooting my arrow over the wall. Well, you're still going to get disadvantage. Maybe.
Well, it's what is it? A 60-foot high wall in a room that's only.
Wall of water's 10 feet high. Only 10 feet.
Okay. Still, 10 feet's a decent,
That's not how you shoot your bow, right? You aim at target. You don't do this. That's like that's a pro move. So anyway, yeah, you're going to get disadvantage on it. Longbows do that, says Thindall. Well, maybe I'm wrong then. I could be wrong. So there's a whole bunch of things. We need to track the wall in the game. I want to import the wall data and use it. I want to track walls in the game. Those are two big things I want to do. I would need to add targeting support. Add targeting support for ringed walls.
Yeah.
And I need to add left-right damage toggle to basically wall of fire. Wall of fire and ring wall of fire.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I kind of feel like just the brain power needed to figure out what I need to do pretty much as a show. I'm good to go. Unless, Rory, you want to actually write some code.
I feel like we should make some level of progress.
Fine. I thought we were done.
Some level.
Fine, but Rory says we got to keep going. What do you want to do out of these, Rory? Do you have a lean? This is just a poll. You're not deciding necessarily what we're going to do.
No. I quite like the order in which you've written them, if I'm honest. You've got the left-right damage assets anyway,
We're going to do it. All right, so we're going to add left-right damage toggle. Now, we aren't going to be able to do ringed wall of fire. Check that, because I don't have support for ringed walls yet. So we'll put that in parentheses. That won't happen today. But we're going to try to do left-right damage toggle to wall of fire. That's
sure.
What we'll do. Thindle says they're more kill stuff in the general direction, though. Oh, that's right. He's totally right? Did I get gender right on that, Thindle? Let me know if you want a gender swap on that. Just take what you've done and throw it into one of those no-code tools. If you listen to any CEO, it should work just like that.
Pretty sure the no-code tools produce the no products at the end of it.
No product tool at the end. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, so we are going to do wall of fire, left-right damage. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think after rebuilding, I copied the new build over. Let's go see if that's the case. I don't think I did. Pretty sure no. So, I rebuilt this guy. Let's copy it over. Pretty sure that's it. Replace. Also, let's go back to that. It's called firewall side damage. Right there. I want to copy that to the clipboard. I want to put that in my notes over here. So these are the two different, I've got actually two different sets of effects that I want to try and see how they look. And they're from two, you see the R1 and R3? That means they're from two different DLLs. And so each one of these have children that say left and right. And they should be oriented correctly. I'm hoping they are. We'll find all this out. So these two effects, we actually kind of want to add these. We can do this now. So our first bit of code will actually not be in Visual Studio, be over here. Little cutie. Do I have a wall of fire? Oh, I can't make her changes here. I've got to do it inside of the spreadsheet. For whatever reason, because her wall of fire effect is coming from an object and not her own spell, there's a limitation apparently in here.
It's not innately her so much as something she's carrying.
Yeah, so let's go into wall of fires. Here we go. Not there. Here. So, this is how we build the wall with the TaleSpire pieces right here. Oh, I added something. This is kind of sweet. Yeah. See firewall base of 3? This is my syntax. That syntax you've seen before. That means I have 3 assets called firewall base 1, 2, and then 3. And this will randomly pick one of those. It works really well in wall of water because wall of water was getting really repetitive with the same kind of patterns with the segments next to each other. So this will just break up that repetition by randomly selecting one of those.
Nice.
So now what I need is I want to do this, come down here, play effect, grab firewall sides, R1 firewall sides, like that. It'll be at wall. That's the overall length of it. That's cool. And the 5, this is the space between.
Yeah.
These are in 10-foot segments. So firewall sides is in 10-foot segments. So this is just an indicator which side left or right it is. So I'm going to do that there. I'm going to come down here and we're going to grab the other piece, which is firewall side damage. And it has the same dimensions and coordinates out here. Okay.
Cool.
Copy those two, bring them down, add them to ringed wall of fire as well. Hopefully we won't need to make any changes there. We will if their rotation is wrong. I'll just be like this. I'll be like, oh gosh. Yeah, I'm not sure how exactly I want to fix that. Okay, so those two changes are there. With this alone, we should be able to test just this effect right now. So I'm going to start with TaleSpire right now. It's got, we compiled them on this machine. We copied those DLLs over to the second machine. Here it is starting up. Now it's loading all the assets. I wish I had a team for this, by the way, Rory. I'm like now at a point where I'm like, oh man, this is so big and complex. I really want a team to manage this. We could really do something cool, you know? Create a product. One of the other things I was thinking about too this morning while I was sleeping was I was thinking about, I should really make it so this works on every copy of TaleSpire that's connected to my game. So effects playing on one, play on every one. And to do that, Roy, we're going to need you to help us test it.
Sure.
But you know what's cool is we could actually take your screen and share it using OBS Ninja. And so we could hit a button here and see your screen to verify it's working. That might be something we do in the near future. Okay. So what do I want to do? Go to camera 1 up here. Got a mess of people out here. Wall of fire. So let's cast it. First thing I want to do is put this down. By the way, I've also been thinking about your suggestion of creating our own line ruler tool. And I'm like, yeah, Rory's kind of right. All right, so here we go. We got 60 feet with wall of fire. There's a 60 feet right there. Little cutie spells. whoops, sorry, not spells, weapons, staff of fire, wall of fire. I'm now hitting line, and I'm going to hit attack. And hopefully we should see, I hit attack, but it didn't roll. Let me try hitting attack again. I just closed that. Or that you closed it, sorry.
That was me.
All right, why is an attack working?
You on a breakpoint or something?
Nope, I started this up. Oh, it's not responsive. Well, that's not good. I also failed to reload everything. I don't have the one. I'm not running. I just started it up, so I'm not sure what's going on. There we go. It just kicked in the attack. Wall of fire, but no effects at all. Also, I need to do a reload everything over here. Yeah, it's not responsive. I've seen this when we've been stepping through, and it's because it's waiting on someone to come back and respond, like the Stream Deck, or not Stream Deck, the Streamloots card server might be not responding. I'm going to close the program. Don't report. It's me. I know the problem. We're going to start up from here. Hold on. Sorry. I know you can't see. Let me get back. Oh, I can't make you see because I have to hit that button to get you to see it. Start up from here. Because I just killed the app that helps me switch between TaleSpire and TaleSpire machine and my local machine. So my new show time is going to be, instead of doing it in the morning, will be the evening.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting. But it's a little bit like the family's like going to be like, seriously?
As I say, not that anyone listening should be worried about this because the show's going to stay the same. It's Mark's perspective that'll have to change for that.
It starts at 6.
Really?
If I'm going to start at the same time. What are you doing? What is that, Tinder? Put that away. You can't do that now.
My lawyer.
Don't call your lawyer. Is that your lawyer? Put that down.
On the phone.
Karen is in there. All right, what do we got? Are we running? Yeah, we're running. We're starting up and running. We're just waiting for it to get up and running there. Yeah, I'm thinking about creating our own UI for laying this down.
Sure.
Because this also has some problems, by the way. The TaleSpire ruler, I'll share some with you. I actually reported this as a bug until I realized, oh, wait, I actually see what's happening. But if I come over here, let's see, if I come over here, wait, here, watch, I think, yeah, watch it jump. See, look, hold on.
It goes underneath somewhat because it's taking, well, I say it is, it's transparent across that.
Yeah, what's happening...
Is it going underneath, but it still wants to show that it's there?
Yeah, hold on a second. If I come in here and I hide, where's the, there it is. I hide this creature, come back out, and now with it hidden, if I come in and I do this, and I do something like this. So let's see. Here, look, see we're at 440 feet.
So that's basically picking whatever it can under where your cursor is, which happens to be significantly lower than it was, i.e. sort of sea level. And therefore it's cutting through the ground, taking the most direct route.
Yeah, even here you can see, look, it's 56 and then it goes to 30. Right?
Oh,
56.
the numerics are jumping. Sorry, I didn't see that.
Yeah. Spoink 8 is out there. Which language are we talking about? No, we're working in C# right now is what we're doing. C# modding TaleSpire is what we're doing. Yeah, so you've got a hidden creature. It will find it and think you're trying to point to the hidden creature. That's kind of what's going on. So see, you can see right here, 42 feet and then jump to 29.
I see. So it's kind of ray tracing through, but unlike a hidden creature shouldn't block, it actually is blocking unless it's significantly shorter.
Yeah, and so that's kind of one of the problems with it. We can bypass that problem by creating our own. So, do I want to do that? Yeah, I don't know. If I had a team, this is where I'd start, doling out.
Delegating. Yeah.
Responsibility. That's what I would be doing. Are we up and running yet? Let's see. We're here. Yes, we are up and running. So we're up and running. Let's show only Freds. Let's try to cast Wall of Fire again if we can. Let's come over here. Whoops. Let's make the Wall of Fire. So we'll come in here and do this. Okay, wildfire is 60 feet long. I'm going to hit cast. Cast the spell. Now what's happening? It's locked up. Where are we? Yeah. So who is this? TaleSpire. I wonder if the IP address has changed. Let's just double check that.
Interesting.
It has changed. No, wait. No, wait. 41. No, it hasn't changed. It's the same. Okay, so the IP is the same, but it's not responding. Actually, this could be because of an exception. Hold on. That could be an exception going on. Yeah, there you go. Oh. This means there was an update. So I don't know if you can see this or not over there, but basically we've got missing method exception.
So just checking the TaleSpire page on Steam. Yep, there was an update yesterday.
Those sons of guns. All right, so at least now we know what our lockup is right here. Let's come in, bring it in here and take the font size, bring it way up here so we can see what's going on here.
So is this where we go and collect a set of DLLs from the latest updates so that we can build against them and make sure that things are not as missing as they would appear to be?
That's exactly what we need to do. All right, so we'll stop this. I'll just keep this view up so you can see both machines. I need to hit some buttons to get me to that position. R&D, DLLs. Here we go. Let's bring these up. So here and here. And we might do something like this. Looks like only Bouncy Rock TaleSpire runtime changed.
Okay.
Well, that's cool. Let's copy that one across to there. Replace it. Similarly, do I need to do it on the other side? I'm not sure. These are both local. I don't think I need to do it on the other side. I guess we'll find out. Let's do it here. Do a rebuild of the solution. Whoops, I got to close down TaleSpire on the second machine. That's a fast way to do it. Maybe I did it in time. Hold on. TaleSpire core. Hold on, there may be other problems in here. Creature board asset. Oh, you sons of guns. What did you do? So they made a big change. Code that previously was relying upon World ID.
Yeah.
They got us.
Ouch.
What did they give us?
Tell me they've just changed it. That there's a different property, right?
Should I go with creature ID?
I mean, it's world ID. So
hold on a second. Let me go.
I guess so we're going to say that previously it was the ID of this object within the world, whereas now it is the ID of the creature still in the world. We were just rephrasing somehow.
Well, let me double check this. I think we've already seen creature ID.
What type is world ID? Is it an NGUID?
Yeah, I think it is.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I've got a lot of creature ID. Hold on a second here. Let's start up a new instance of Visual Studio. Or do I have a second one up? Yeah, TaleSpire Explorer. This is where I want to find it. So look for creature ID, match word case, find it here. I suspect it's already been using it. And I also suspect that it's actually identical to World ID, if I'm recalling correctly.
Okay. Well, that's not too bad then. They're just hiding some things they didn't want to leave. They're tidying up, essentially.
Yeah, I think that's the case. So what I'm going to do is everywhere I see World ID, I'm going to change it to Creature ID.
Okay.
We're gonna go with that for now. Let's
And of course, you've got all your code checked in before we started, so you can undo this should it become necessary.
What? Okay, so let's say, is that replace next, I guess? Replace next, replace next. Just those two? Really, only those two?
That's good.
That's way better. Let's see if that works. Let's come back. I'm going to just do the build from here because this is the one that's it's important to me.
Mm-hmm.
Build has been canceled. Where's my error? Why has the build been canceled? That makes no sense to me. Rebuild. Whoa, here we go. Did it not find them all? Come on, guys.
Were we constrained just to a single project?
No, I don't think so. World ID.
No.
Huh. Creature ID. Replace next, replace next, replace next. This is commented code. Oh my God, fine. Replace next, replace next. Replace next. Now does it say it's done? I'm going to hit find next. There's one right there. Find next. Looks like now it's nothing's happening. Okay. Now, what are my errors here? What side? Okay, that's just figuring it out. Needs a GUID. It's not the same kind, is it? What's a creature ID?
Oh.
It's a creature GUID.
Okay.
Do you have something? Dot value. Okay. Wow. I'm trying not to say anything negative. Look, it didn't find this one. Come on.
This should not be possible.
I'm wondering if this...
If previously World ID was an NGUID or whatever they called it, do we not need to replace these with creature ID dot value, like everywhere?
Yeah, maybe. I guess I'm just hoping that toString on it would still work.
Well, that's possible, yeah.
But you're right. Let's tab to next reference on all of these now. Yeah, and we'll do that just to be super safe. And this one, I guess,
Were there not some places we were already using creature ID where it was working without the dot value?
Oh, Rory. Stop. Stop making sense.
I mean, you know, it's... Where?
Yeah, that one's going to be there. That one's probably got to be there. I think there were only two, as I recall, two places. And I think they might have been in test code. So I'm
thinking that the main place for doing this is wherever the errors are occurring, because if there's no errors occurring, then okay, it's likely we were already working that way and we'll be fine. If not, then we're going to have something like a log, which instead of giving us an ID, will give us the name of the class instead, and we can fix that as and when we come across it.
Yeah. Okay, so let me start up. So I got a build over here. Should I have done that? I think I can. And then I just want to start and run that. We're going to have to rebuild. This may give us an error because it can't, because I've locked up the DLLs on the TaleSpire machine. No, it said build succeeded. Good. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, starting up, let's go to the TaleSpire machine, make sure it's ready to load. So we want to do a couple checks on this new error. Well, first we want to make sure we don't have any exceptions now, because there's still a possibility we've got an old DLL in a folder that the plugin, no, that just doesn't make sense, because the plugin was built against it, and I don't think it copies the DLL over. It's going to load the DLL from the install. In fact, if it did copy the DLL over, we wouldn't have the problem, right? The fact that we're having the error indicates it's using the one from the install. Okay, so what I want to do first is I want to say load creatures, because I want to see what's coming in here. And creature ID, we're getting something in there for the creature ID.
Okay,
that's
good.
Yeah, that's good. Next thing I want to do is I want to say explore many, because see, it's got all of these different creature IDs. I want to make sure if the creature ID for Merkin is the same as the one we've got in the folder. Does it start with 354? And I don't think it does, if I'm recalling correctly. I'm like, this is not good. Let's go look at players. Look at Merkin. Oh, it is. It's the same.
Good stuff.
It starts and ends with the same number. Okay. That is actually excellent, excellent news. Okay. So both of those are matching up. Sorry, those are so
So we've
small there.
upgraded our use of the upgraded API and still retaining the same values that we were expecting to. So that would seem to be a successful match.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit relieved because I was a little worried this morning. All right, Wall of Fire goes to 60 feet, bringing up little cuties, Staff of Fire, Wall of Fire button, hitting the line button, and then casting it now. Okay. Oh, cool. Oh, kind of cool.
There we go.
Kind of cool. Okay, so the problem is the stuff indicating the direction, it's all lined up the wrong way. It needs to be switched 90 degrees. See these kind of side effects right here that are shooting out? Those are supposed to be aiming left or right. There's another thing, though, is I'm not seeing the second effect. The second effect is a little maybe hard to see because there's all this other stuff going on, but I think we should see it, and I don't see it. So the second effect I'm not seeing. Did we get an error for that? Firewall sides.
18 fire damage.
So the last thing we see is this. The R1 firewall sides. We don't see the other one, which is R2 or R3. We didn't see that. Hold on. Let's look at that. Spells. Yeah. We're only seeing stuff in the log. Hold on a second. Sorry. I've just become aware that you can... How did that happen? That was really weird. Let's go back over here. All right.
There we go.
Here we go. So we get this one, but the R3 one isn't being sent out.
Okay.
It's as if it didn't reload this, but we restarted, so it would have had to reload this.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit like, what is going on with that? Why isn't it? Give me one more of those. Also, why are the dice still up? What has happened? There must be. Are we at a break point? No, we're not at a break point. We're running.
Strange.
Yeah. Why are the dice still up?
There they go. What's the length of time the wall is supposed to last for if it's not dispelled purposefully?
It's I think 10 minutes. But I'm also not
Okay.
seeing. Oh, you know what we may need? We may need to do refreshes of these guys right here of the overlays. Let's try that and see if that gives us any assistance, because we should be seeing. Oh, it looks like we're stuck at a. Let me do a break all here and see where we are. Yeah, we're stuck here, waiting on a response from register allies.
Ooh.
Set a breakpoint here. and hit run and see how long it takes for us to get to there. Yeah, we're not getting out of this. Register allies isn't returning anything back. Why isn't register allies returning anything back? I wonder if it's related to the new... let's go see if we can find that out. Okay, there we go. It just got out of it. Run. We'll set a breakpoint on the other side. Oh, we're back in again. Wow. I should have set a breakpoint. I should have figured out, checked what are we doing. What's the command now? Register neutrals. Okay. Let's just come down here, get out of here. I think there's a problem with registration. All right. So now we're responsive again. Interesting. So let's go look at that code and see if we can. I guess I'll turn off the breakpoint for now just so we don't get stop at it and not realize we're stopped. Let's come back over here. Looking for register neutrals, register allies. We're because, you know, guess what? It has... It's working with creature IDs, I bet.
Oh, right, yes.
Well, this is just an add range call. That's not going to lock us up. This isn't going to lock us up.
What makes the call into register allies?
It's coming from over here, modding utils. Modding utils is getting this call in, you know, just as a command that's being sent to it. And it immediately responds with good.
Which means it's already converted whatever it was, if it needed to, into a string array.
Right.
Which means it's not like an IEnumerable where you're just potentially polling it for ages. It will have done the conversion.
Right. We're communicating. Is it in TaleSpire client? I'm forgetting the... TaleSpire machine IP address. That's the only IP address that I know of that we are hard coding, I think. TaleSpire IC machine IP address. D&D machine. Could it be that this has changed?
Okay.
$192, $168, $22, $252. It has not changed. So it's the same. I'm not sure why we're getting locked up here. Wait a minute. Is it possible that the machine is connected to something other than... Nope. I was thinking, is it connected to like... Oh, no, wait, it is. It's connected to Wi-Fi as well. Let me disconnect from Wi-Fi and see if that solves the problem. I was thinking, you know, maybe it's the way it's talking to each other. But to be honest, Roy, I don't know enough about, you know, networking to know if that was really a good idea or not.
It's weird. I mean, each interface, that is to say network interface, so your physical graphics card as they used to be, obviously on the motherboard these days, and then your Wi-Fi, again, probably on the motherboard, but they'll have different identities, and they can exist with different IP addresses. But if you're reaching out to one, as long as it is at the end of that one in some sense, you should still be okay.
Okay.
You know, they're just aliases for each other. Now, in terms of incoming stuff, that's slightly different. If you're binding to an IP address and taking data coming in on that address, and something isn't sending it to that address, it is instead sending it to... So, like, you could listen on the network card, but you're sending to the Wi-Fi, and you could miss that way.
Okay.
If I'm understanding correctly.
Well, let's see if we're in any better shape. Register allies should totally work. It should. There's nothing. weird or freaky about it. Here's both machines right here. I've just restarted TaleSpire on the second machine. Let's go to, let's do some tests just in terms of like responsiveness. If I turn on targeting, that's on. Creatures are following it around. If I target a creature, here we go, targeting a creature.
If any command works, surely there's nothing wrong with the IP mechanics.
Yeah.
Because they all travel over the same means.
Yeah, I kind of feel like, no, so let me just clean up all of these. Let's do a refresh. Now, here's when I do the refresh, it's going to register allies again over here, which means now if I start doing the same thing, I'll start seeing blue targets. There you go. So I think it was a restart is my sense. It was the restart.
Okay.
Plus, what else was the other thing I do? Plus, well, I did just disconnect from Wi-Fi. So maybe that was it. All right, so let's try one more time. We're going to come down and lay down a wall of fire here. Okay, this one will only be 56 feet long. Go.
Okay.
Yeah, but it still doesn't have the second effect. It only has
No.
the one. Why is the question. It does firewall base. It's as if it hasn't loaded it. It's as if it hasn't loaded the
So have we got anything in the log that suggests the asset couldn't load?
No, I guess what I mean is it's not even trying. The play effective
Oh, I see.
position should say it's as if it didn't load it into the main app. That
Like
was
a cached copy of the Google doc.
Yeah, that was a worrisome delay on the.
Fire damage.
Are we still in that problematic space? Are we in here? Debug, break all. Feels like we are. What's our command? Target, ready. That was an old command, I think. Yeah. So it's as if the data's not coming back. Something has happened. Okay. What if there's here's my new theory. What if there is an exception that's happening, but somehow we're swallowing it, but it's also...
Oh, right.
It's also... So we don't see it reported. I don't know. I guess I could scroll up to see if there's other exceptions up here, but... Whoop, there was one.
Okay.
Okay. That could be related to a lot of the problems we're seeing. Firewall side damage. Did I just fail to get that right in terms of the name? Let's switch back.
I thought you copied it.
Let's close I'm going to close down TaleSpire. See if that suddenly these dice all clear as a result of doing that. Actually, it probably won't. I'll probably have to get a breakpoint here, then get out of it, and then run it. Dice are not clearing. How about now? There we go. Yeah, okay. So now I need to make sure that this firewall side damage, R3 firewall side damage, is in fact inside of here. R3 firewall side damage. Did I drop it into my main set of prefabs? Let's see what I got when I come over here and type in firewall side. R3.firewall side damage prefab. It is in here. It's in assets prefabs. I don't see it there. Is it just in assets? Is there another prefab? It says it's in auras. There it is, right there. So, not sure what's going on. Maybe I just need to rebuild it. Let's try it. I'll do another export here. What do we call? Can we do extension properties yet, Rory? Do you know if we can? I feel like they've been talking about that on and off, and I'm not sure if we.
Yeah, I remember it got talked about as extensions everywhere, or at one point was called. I feel like we should be far enough down. What's the current version of C#?
I don't know. I want to say 9 or something like that.
I'm losing track, but
in C#.
I think it got bumped from 8. It was being talked around that time, but
still not I've seen this as a proposal champion, but wasn't released yet. That's what. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounded great when they were talking about it.
Because I could fix this with an extension property, right? By changing. Yeah. Okay, so that export completed.
This asset, this package you're building here.
Yeah.
Does this in any way depend on the TaleSpire runtime DLL?
No.
Okay, so there's no possibility that because you built this before we fixed that other problem, it was in some way incompatible until now.
Yeah, I would call that extremely unlikely because it doesn't. Okay. It just doesn't reference any of TaleSpire DLLs. There's none in all these. They're all standalone. Let's see here. Go to bring up the assets folders, and we're going to take this and copy it across again. Replace. We're going to try restarting TaleSpire on the second machine. Isn't that funny? Like we do the show live, and it's like I feel like this is the third time we've started, and we've been like an update has thwarted us, and we don't find out till in the show. Like, oh. But I think our response time is getting better for handling that situation. The first time we were like, what's going on?
Days. Originally, it was like, how can this possibly work? But yeah. Getting a feel for what to go looking for.
Right. Exactly. Okay. So I think we can just go. Let's do this. We're going to do a refresh. Do you need something, Karen? It's my phone. Okay. One more time. And hitting the buttons to cast it. Go. Do we see the additional effect? There we go. And we see the additional effect. So if we say it's to the left, we've got to rotate all of these to the, if we're looking down on them from the top, we've got to, if we say this is the left side as we're moving forward.
So the left's the inside of that curve.
Yes.
As you drew it.
Exactly. So I've got to take the effects and rotate them to the left, 90 degrees. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do it inside of the...
You're talking about the shooting effect, the sort of sparking almost.
Yeah, there's two effects in here. Let me zoom in.
So they appear to be shooting slightly forwards in both directions, left and right at the moment. So a 90-degree shift to the right would be my...
Yeah, so the real one to look at is this last one. See these kind of flames right here? This kind of box of flames? That's there to represent the 10 by 10 box, which is to the left. That box was drawn, so the last one was here, and the box was drawn here. I want that box to be drawn here. So we need to take the whole effect and rotate it 90 degrees to the left is what we kind of need to do. I think the best way to do this is to, I'm pretty sure this will work. I come in and I'm going to rotate this to the left 90 degrees. So this will be a negative 90. If I got that right. Then I'm going to take the inside pieces and I'm going to copy them. Then I'm going to delete this. Then I'm going to go into the... Which one was that? Was that firewall side damage? It's this one. Go into here, delete both of these, and now paste. And what I've seen before is that it will... Yeah, it's rotating each one of them. It's actually not what I want. Because I kind of need to change the position of them is what I need to do. Let me undo this.
Okay.
Let me undo that. Let's go back. We're going to have to do it while we're kind of looking at it from above here. Undo, undo, undo. Can I get my... Well, you know what? I don't need to necessarily undo it and just drop it down. And it's at 0, 0, 0. So if we just run the game... Oh, sorry. I was doing a whole bunch of stuff and you didn't say it. Here we go. We run the game now. And we zoom in on this.
Okay.
Hold on. The way I have it now, the way in the notes that I have it, which is apparently wrong. Does it have both of these on or no? The right one is not on. I turn on the right one. Okay, there we go. I see. So clicking here, there's the middle. Okay, got it. So see, there's the middle. Right there. This cube is kind of hard to, it's kind of hard to see the whole thing because the cube's white. But there's the, so if we select the main piece, you can see there's my kind of anchor in the middle. That shows you where its anchor position is right there. And if I take, for example, the right one and I turn it off, you can see what's happening. So we want to take this whole thing and turn it 90 degrees to the left. But I don't want to change this orientation. I want to change the positions orientation of the pieces inside. So what I need to do is I need to take this, I need to move this back to 0. I need to bring the X out to -1. And with this, that's really all I need to do with this effect. It doesn't really have an orientation left or right. That's all I need to do with that left side. And on the right side, I need to take that to 0, bring this to 1, and that's all I need to do there as well.
Okay.
And so now what I need to do is change my notes. So now the left one, and there's the right one over there. So good. Okay, so now let's go change my notes because, you know, I want to get it right next time. Okay, with left-right damage effects in TaleSpire, Y is up and Z points forward. Okay, so we've solved that for firewall side damage, R3 firewall side damage. We need to build it. Also, oops. We did this while we were running, which means these changes won't be saved unless I copy them to the clipboard and then go in to fireside wall damage, delete these two, and then paste it back in. And now we have to...
I'm glad you noticed that before you hit the stop button.
Right. Yeah, well, exactly. You're exactly right on that. Now... let's go back to the main scene and test it one more time. I'm going to delete this just to be sure, grab a new one, drop it on there, hit run. So now we're expecting to look forward in the Z direction like this, right? The blue is Z, and just be able to toggle these off. There's my left and there's my right. Okay, good.
That's good. Yeah.
All right, so that one is done. All right, next. I need to do this. We haven't built it yet. We need to do that. Why don't I go over into TaleSpire and we'll shut it down because we're going to need to rebuild and copy stuff over. Let's go ahead and build this now.
Yeah.
While that's building, the next one we need to go after is R1 firewall sides. And that one's over in here. There it is right there. Now this one we are going to need to rotate as well as move. And I'm going to do the same thing that we were doing before here. So I'll take firewall sides there, and I'm going to face it this way, and I'm going to run, and I want to make sure that I've got left and right things going as we're expecting them to be here. So left and right, interestingly, left and right are both at 0, 0. Is that because I changed the pieces, the location of the pieces inside? Maybe that's why. So instead of Z being at 0.7, I want that to be X. Let's try that. Let's try rotating 90. Okay, we want to rotate maybe 270. And we need to move it more over there. Okay, there we go. So that's the effect there. That one is correct.
Yeah.
So it's inside. Interesting. Left and right didn't do it. Just these did. Okay, so this next one, I think we want to go to 90 now. And we want to come back over here. Hold on. Oh, it's just turned off. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's why I don't see it. Okay, yeah.
There you go.
That looks pretty good. I want it not out so far, I think, though. So that's going to show that side of damage. This one's going to show this side is damage. I want them to be pretty symmetric in terms of their height. Looks like they are. Their distance is a little bit, one's a little closer, so let's move this a little closer. This ice wall should be located right at 0, 0. Yeah. Okay, so that's kind of what it's going to look like. And we've got left and right. So I think this one's done. Again, let's copy both of these to the clipboard.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, let's do this. Copy those two, stop it. Paste them, come back, delete, drop it, and we're going to rotate this. Oh, they got rotated again because this didn't have, when I cut them, they did, when I copied them, this one didn't have a 0 rotation. So they got rotated a second time, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, see here, this used to be 0. Okay, I'm just going to do that, and I'm going to do that. That should fix it, I think.
Okay.
Let's drop it in again and turn this to 0 and run. And I think that'll work. That looks good. Turn off left, and the right side's going. Okay, good. I think that's working. The only thing that was a little weird about it is that... You hear that? Right?
They heard something.
Fred, did you see that? There's somebody right behind you there. Why is that? Why are you laughing? Well, it looks great, guys, says the Wicked Blue Ninja. All right. Thanks, Wicked Blue Ninja, for coming in. Just wait till we get the whole thing in and going. It'll be awesome. All right, we're going to build this now. We're going to export this one out. I think this is right. So there was one last change I made just as Wicked Blue Ninja came in. And there was the prefab had a rotation of 90 on it.
Right.
And that's useless because when we put the prefab in, we rotate it to the wall as it's being built. Okay.
We're gonna handle that rotation ourselves. We don't need anything built in ahead of time for the whole thing.
I don't know. Roy, were you paying attention at this on this? Oh wait, look at this. It's still 90. I thought I changed it to 0. Let's go back.
I thought you did as well.
Okay, now it's 0. One more time. Export it one more time. Do you think I did the right thing on this one?
I think so.
I think I was persuasive that I got it, but I just don't know if I got it. That's kind of my situation. All right. So those are, Roy's like getting a little irritated. He's like, oh, so I have to pay attention now, Mark. let's see. Close.
I think what you were doing made sense, and I mean, I'm not sure quite why you had to adjust it so many times at the end there, because it did keep seeming to revert. But perhaps I wasn't catching exactly which piece. There seem to be quite a lot of layers, obviously, so you've got to make sure that each layer is the right level of rotation and what have you. But you're right, you need a base thing that is facing in one direction, because we're going to control where the whole entity is shifted to afterwards, and you don't need an extra offset for everything on top of that.
Yes, that is correct. Let's switch over to this view. I'm starting up TaleSpire on the second machine. Got a non-responsive main app. Let's see if we do a break all. Where do we get? It says break mode. Let's see, is the app responsive? The app is suddenly responsive. Okay, so send everything out. Let's turn off everybody's nameplate except for Fred's. All right, let's go into Qt. Let's switch camera over here. Let's drop down a wall of fire. There it is right there.
Right, just to make things complicated, the left is on the outside of the curve this time.
All right. And go. No. Why not?
Fire damage.
Okay, well, we got, oh, wait. Well, no, wait. It is working, actually.
Everything's turned on.
Everything's turned
So
on. Left and right. I thought I turned off one of them, but maybe I didn't. Maybe I failed to do that. Okay, that's cool. But we're getting closer. Like the effect looks cool. I think
It does, yes.
Once we get it, so it's only on one side, you'll be like totally get. Okay, I get wall of fire now, right?
Yeah.
It's
Indeed.
It's 20 feet high, right? All of this is looking good. Okay, so we just got to figure out why we screwed that one up. Closing down this over here. Let's see, what do I want to do? Close. Give me a test close of that. Okay, so I think I'm going to go in here and double check on these. And did I mess that up? Yeah. So I'm going to take right and I'm turning right off like that for this one. Rebuild it. And then once this comes up, then we do the next thing, which is to do the swapping. Wicked Blue Ninja says, been here a bit, didn't want to bring up the animation.
If I recall correctly, a square parentheses will allow you to bypass the fanfares as a prefix to your comments, if that's what you'd like to do in future.
I don't want to tell Wicked Blue Ninja.
We don't mind, though. We quite like your animation.
It's that character right there, that square bracket. Before the first thing you say will turn off your fanfare for the day. Okay, so export completed here. Let's come over here. Do we have the same problem? Yep, same problem in both of them. I failed to turn it off. And let's export it. So left is on by default. So good, we got things oriented correctly. At first I was like, wait, no, I'm seeing them right down the middle, but it was because they were symmetrically.
It's the mirror effect from having two sets, yeah.
Yeah, okay, both of these exports are complete. And now let's copy them from here and here over to here. Replace them. And now on TaleSpire, let's start it up.
Okay.
TaleSpire starting. Why not Wicked Blue? We like it. Yeah, we like it, Wicked Blue Ninja. You can do it anytime. Okay. I'm looking forward to this. This I think is going to be cool. And then once we actually have it swapping, then we'll be like, now this is cool.
Indeed.
That's what I love about this, right? I'm not a nerd, Rory. I'm one of the coolest people I know.
Absolutely.
Out of all my friends that I know. What? You guys know who my friend is. There's a hint. He's over there. Wait, where'd he go? Rory. That's Rory.
Yeah.
What do we got? Wall of fire. Let's make this thing
Wall of
look
fire.
cool. This is going to look so cool. All right,
On
here we
just
go.
one side of the line.
So left, this is now going to be the inside.
It'll be in this inside,
The
yeah.
inside of the curve. Oops, 57 feet. That's good enough. Wall of fire. Go. Attack. There we go. Look at that.
That is good.
That's a killer wall of fire.
It
Right
is.
there. And it's and the effects.
And it's very clear that the effects are on only one side, and it's very clear that that's where the damage will be taken.
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty cool. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm actually loving the combination of effects. Right? The whole thing is looking like this killer spell. Nice. Yeah, really, really neat. Let's switch over to, let's give you that to full screen right here. There you go. You can kind of see that.
That's
Very
good.
cool. Yeah. All right. Next.
Got to call that success. And with that particular level of success,
Yes.
I'm afraid my time has somewhat run out.
You know what I want, Roy? I want
What's that?
people to see you at user groups and conferences and come up to you and just with an air guitar.
Wow, that would... I'm not sure how I'd react to that.
All right, Dancing Cats, get out of here. Get out of here, Dancing Cats, before you get me in trouble. Roy, thanks so much.
No trouble, my friend. Anytime. I will rejoin you in, about 22 and a half hours, give or take.
Story, bro.
Cool story, bro.
He's awesome.
He's awesome. All right, awesome contribution, Roy.
All right,
Thanks so
bud.
much.
We'll see you soon.
Contribution.
We'll see you, buddy.
Bye.
Shirley says, send me that as an audio file, Mark, and I'll take it to the next DDD that me and Roy happen to be at. All right. Yes. Send me a reminder of that. I think I can get that to you today. I'll definitely do that. That sounds like great fun. All right. So we've got the left. Now we need to be able to swap it to the right, because one of the rules of D&D is that I can with the wall of fire, I can have it go left or right. Now, switching back over to my main machine, somewhere in here I've got my Stream Deck, and on the Stream Deck in the wall of fire, I added these two buttons just at the start of the show, with a command called damage flip, which right now is bound to nothing. I just got damage flip right there with the left or right. So I need a new command. So we're gonna. What do we need to do? It's not too hard. We're going to create a new Stream Deck command, so we'll have to stop the app to do it. When we get the Stream Deck command, we're going to have to go send a message down to the app telling it to flip damage left or right. Also not too hard, but there's a number of communication pieces that are going to be a couple communication pieces we'll need to send, and then we'll need to actually implement the code inside TaleSpire to go find the left pieces and the right pieces and enable one and disable the other. Speaking of which, join the Discord. Cool, Code Rush kids. Yeah, I should spend more time out there, Shirley. I know I really should. I should spend more time out there, especially talking about like new features and things like that. Yeah, join the Discord and encourage me to join you guys as well, to be out there and spend more time. I think I have notifications on in there, but yeah, definitely we start talking about things. Yeah, let's start talking about new features. Okay, so damage flip. That's what we need to do. I think I'm going to stop the app, which means we'll lose control of Fred and scroll bar and things like that for a little bit while we write this code. We need a new Stream Deck command. I'll just grab this guy and duplicate this. Call it the damage flip command. like that. Looks like it's pretty much exactly what we want. Let me go move it to its own file. Looks like we lucked out with that one. Because we want to have damage flip followed by a space followed by a word. The command is direction. We could call this direction as well. We're going to call TaleSpire damage flip. And maybe not call it TaleSpire damage flip. Maybe just call it damage flip. Just like that. That's what we'll call it. Let's declare the method. Pop it in there. I clicked away and then clicked back. Okay, there we go. There's my damage flip. Okay. Now, I'm going to put to do here, flip the damage in the game engine for the active wall. Do we even know what the active wall is at this point? We kind of don't. There's also a sequencing potential problem here. What happens if I know in advance I want it to be on the right side? What if I hit right before I actually threw out the attack? Okay. Targeting. Dot. Let's do this. Let's start building some kind of core flip damage side. Let's do that. No, it's not damage flip. It's set damage. Oh my gosh. Come on, Mark. Set damage side. It's not flip. Direction is going to tell us which side to be on. Okay, so now here I'm going to go into targeting and I'm going to call set damage side. So if we hit this button before we hit this, it should be on the right side. Otherwise, it'll be on the left, I think. And I also think I'm also thinking that when we activate the shortcut, that we want to... No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do that. Just whatever was the last one we used will be that same one will be used for the next wall by default. And if we want to set it to the other side, then we'll set it to the other side. So I'm just going to go targeting set damage side. I don't think I have any left or right. I don't think I do. I think I need a new enum. So let's see, targeting is down in the D&D core. I believe I've got a folder for enums. So just pop this up in here like this. Move type to file, so it's in the right place. So now we've got damage side right there. Let's go to D&D utils, call to damage side, passing in direction. Let's declare that. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. And I'm looking for, there it is, some example code right there. When I see the lowercase one in here, oh, because it's not, fine, because it doesn't know the type of it yet. This doesn't exist yet. Wait, I don't think I want to do a field. I want to do auto implemented property. Okay, so this is just some kind of housekeeping here. We're going to store what side the damage is on in the targeting. Now, the next thing we have to do is we have to go to the TaleSpire client. And we have to also come in and say, set damage side. But the question is, on what? Because it kind of needs to be on the last spell cast. And we're not tracking that anywhere. And I'm just trying to imagine where I want to track it. Do I want to track it down on the TaleSpire side of things, or do I want to track it up here in this app? And I think I want to do it up here. I could get more specific and only track the last wall spell cast, because damage side really only impacts actually one spell, which is Wall of Fire. All right, let's go look at where we're casting spells. I think there's an entry point down in D&D game. I got a player's casting spell. No, this is a Boolean test. That's not what I want. I thought for sure there was a cast spell in here. Let me do a search for just cast spell. No. I've got casted spell. Oh, this is spell dispelled. All right, next attempt. Let's go into character. Let's go look for cast spell. I've got a just cast spell here. No, wait, just cast spell. Cast action spell. So right here, I have what appears to be the entry point for setting the last casted spell. hold on. I've got game.cast called in 3 different places here. No matter what, game.cast is being called. This is where I want to be. So I think what I want to do is I want to say last casted spell is equal to casted spell. So I'm going to store it here. Since I want to implement a property, I'll make it uppercase. Last casted spell. All right. I think that's enough. And then here I'm going to say, hey, if last casted, well, I want this to be game dot last casted spell has something. Then we're going to come in here and say, pass in spell ID, and direction. And I think that may be enough. Let's declare that method. Spell ID and the direction, which is going to be left or right. And then here, we can do something like this. We can say, I need 2 parameters here, so I'm going to, do I have another one with 1 more parameter? I don't. I think I want to make one. Like that. Okay, so there's my invoke. Set damage side. So I think from the D&D apps point of view, I think that's done. Next, I need to go to the TaleSpire plugin. Go to the modding utils section. And do that. And do something like this. Get some args in here. Args checking, make sure we're good. So arg length is less than, just say is not equal to 2. Then response bad, expecting 2 args. Okay. I've got a section over here called cloned enums. And I kind of want to create a new enum in here that I'm going to give the same comment to. And we're going to call this damage side. It's going to have left and right in it. Okay, got that. Let's go back over to damage sided. Let's get that same piece right there. In there, in case we make any changes, we have that comment to keep us in sync. Typed file. So we want to do damage side. Damage side is equal to, we got a TaleSpire utils dot to damage side of args of 1. And we have, whoops. This is going to be the spell ID. That's going to be equal to args of 0. Let's build this. Oh, it's just not where I want to put it. It's not in TaleSpire utils. It's another utils I've got out here, I bet. Is that right? Convert utils. That's where I want to put it. No, what just happened? No, I really did not want to do what just, that was a rename option I selected here. Definitely don't want to do that. I think I hit undo.
Are you alright if I leave you and go out to lunch on a date with your kids and the Ryan family?
Yeah, you can do that. Do you want me?
Yeah. I'm thinking about it. Who's this? Is Rory still here?
No, Roy left.
Rory left.
Yep. It's just Surly Dev,
Hi, Surly Dev.
Wicked Blue Ninja.
Hi, guys. Alright, I'm leaving you, Mark Miller.
Spoink 8.
Spoink. I'm not saying hi to him.
Bye, baby. Have a good lunch. Okay. So that looks good right there. Surly says hi to you, Karen.
Miller.
Oh, pudding too. I'm going to shout. I'm going to mute so I shout so you don't hear me. Okay. So I got 2 damage side over here. Then we're going to have some call in here, which I think is going to be in like TaleSpire dot spells dot set damage side, and we're going to pass in the spell ID and the damage side. Okay, and then we're going to just, I think, return good. Okay, so let's declare that. Now, I haven't quite figured out how we're going to do this yet. To make this work, at the very least, let's send some data out. Let's do a TaleSpire warning where we say, hey, spell ID is equal to that, and we'll spit that out. And damage side is equal to that. And we're going to call set, we'll let it know what call we got into. Okay, I think that's enough for now. So I'm going to close down TaleSpire on the second machine. Rebuild all succeeded. Go to the D&D app. Start. don't think there's anything else I have to do. Just start up TaleSpire. And so now what we're looking for is when I hit that button, we're looking for a debug log message out there that says which side we're switching to. Okay. It should be on the outside. That's the left side. As we do it. Yeah, cool. Next, I'm going to hit the left button.
Fire damage.
And I hit the right button. Nothing is happening on either side, so we're not actually getting anything sent down. Let's see if we can figure out why that's the case. Oh, Frackberg! 18 fire damage sounds like a good band name. I would agree with that. Just don't hit that thing! What happened? Oh, you know what it was? Wall of Fire was changing there. It ended Frackberg's intro. I have to do it again. No, that was me. I did that one that time. I was like, oh, let's do this other thing. And we did it at the same time. You're going to get it, Frackberg. No, it was the D&D engine. It was shutting off. I love this, by the way. This is done with, like, you know, mostly just static pictures that are animated. Some of my best animation work there. I'm 1 for 3 escapes on this visit. Yeah, sorry about that. What am I doing here? We didn't see the message go down. So we can set a breakpoint, is what we can do. Let's see if we can get a breakpoint here. And I'll hit a button. Oh, I know what my problem is. I forgot to register the command. Okay. This thing is not registered. Okay. We're going to stop the app and restart it. There's my damage. Flip command. All right. So that should get us closer. All right, starting up. Okay, is this enough to just go and cast it? It is. Okay, so there's a wall of fire shooting off.
21 fire damage.
Whoa. One is in the really wrong place, though. That guy is in the wrong place. That one. That's really weird. Everything else is good. It's on the right, correct side. That one's really wrong. I wonder if I mark the... This is a 1 minute, I think, spell. If I advance the clock by 1 minute, yeah, it's over. Hold on a second. I want to make sure that you guys saw that. It's just occurring to me I may not have had the right screen on here. Let's jump back in. Little cutie, staff of fire, wall of fire. Let's pop this in here. Let's go up one. We're going to move this down. These are my buttons for switching screens. Move that down in there. I'm going to draw this one more time because that was really weird that how that wasn't working. Okay, one more time. Line, go. Okay, that's more what I'm expecting. That they're all facing outer
16
to this
fire
side, to the left.
damage.
Okay, all right, so they're all to the left now of the wall. So that's the damage that those are all causing. What I want to see now is when I hit the left or right button, I want to see something come up here. Okay, I've got a breakpoint. Just hit a breakpoint over here, right there. So that's a good sign. Now that it's registered, that's a good sign. So if I just let it run, are we going to see something? Yeah, we see it. Okay, cool. So there it is right there. Set damage side, spell ID. So we know the spell ID and we know the side is the left. If I hit the right button, and it's now right. So I can hit the buttons and we see which side it goes on. Next, we need to go to the next step and actually find these and flip them, switch them, that sort of thing. We need to see how these spells out here actually exist. Uh-oh, we just lost them. And we need a little more time. I'll cast it again. And I got a minute to find these on the effect. So this time we're looking for
16
this
fire damage.
spell ID here. So I'm going to copy that to the clipboard. And we'll come in here, Effect Editor, Explore Existing, paste in that ID. Okay, they're called spell, and it just has that at the end. Okay, if we look at that one, there you go. We see the left and we see the right. It's exactly what I want. So I want to be able to come in and do that. One of these should be flipped. There it is. It's the last one. Right there. Is it? Oh yeah, it's this. It's just the little falling fire flames on the left side. Okay, that's what flipped. All right, so that's what we need to do. We're looking for spell, anything that starts with spell dot, and then that ID. And it's in the existing list. So, okay, so let's write that code. Okay. So inside spells, I think we've got a list of active spells. It's in instances. So I think we want instances dot get spell effects. And we're going to pass in spell ID. Like that. So instances, there it is right there, has a list of spells. It's a dictionary. So I think what I want to do is I want to go through all the keys and I want to check to see if the key contains the spell ID. And the reason why is because we got a couple different name conventions for the spell name. One is spell, dot, and then the GUID. The other one is movable, dot, and then the GUID. And I want to make this flexible so it works for any of these. Because this is a GUID coming in, I'm just going to find everything that has that in its key. So we say, hey, if key dot contains spell ID, then what we want to do is grab spells of key, and we want to say we want to add that. So we're going to create a new list of game objects up here. It's going to be results, like that. And down here we're going to say results.add, and we're going to add in that guy right there. And then at the end of this whole process, isn't that right? Isn't it a game object? Oh, it's a list of game objects. So this is going to be add range. Right there. Sorry, on the phone. And then we're going to say return results. Like that. And convert to function. So there's get spell effects. We find everything that has that in there. All right, and we're going to get the local effects. And then we're going to now go through each of those local effects. So for each spell effect in there, we want to now see if it has a child. But I want it to be only the direct children of it. I don't want to get anything else. This is my own extension method. Do I have children at all? It doesn't give me a direct list of children, does it? Let's go look at what find child does. Oh, right. I'm going through the transforms and the rect transforms. That's how I get it. Well, I'm only going to have one left, and I'm only going to have one. I'm only going to have one right when I want this to work. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll go in there and say find child like this, left. Include inactive is going to be true. Find child right, like this. Left side, right side, and then I'm just going to double check to make sure if left side dot parent, well, yeah, maybe. Don't I have a parent property? Transform. It could also be in rect transform dot parent. Transform could be null. If we're going through all of these, so it's kind of like I got to do this. If left side transform parent is not equal to spell effect, then we're going to say continue. And we're going to do the same thing with right side. So at this point, I've got a left and a right with a direct parent, and they both have transforms, and the direct parent is the spell effect. That's the scenario I'm looking for. Now, I want to say, hey, if damage side is equal to damage side dot left, then we're going to say left side dot set active to true. And then we're going to say right side set active to false. Like that, right there. Otherwise, we'll swap that around. like this. That might be all we need to do. I'm going to switch back over to TaleSpire, shut it down, rebuild on the main machine. Rebuild all succeeded, starting up TaleSpire. I think this might work, kids. Fred, you look naked without your nameplate there. All right, there you go. Better. I am liking the buttons we created at the beginning of the show. These buttons are looking good to me in terms of, they're very clear in terms of what they do. All right, let's, whoops. Lay down the wall of fire. There we go. And now switch to right.
16
Well, I hit the button.
fire damage.
Nothing happened. Well, that's sad, isn't it? So we're getting here. But nothing beyond that. We need to make sure that we're getting some data back here. So, yeah, we're still seeing these things come in here, but no changes occurring that we can detect. All right, so let's just see what we got to do here. So we'll see how many we have. Let's do this instead. Like that. So then I'm going to come down here. Found a matching spell with left or right children. Like that. Yeah, let's see where we're exiting this. I'm just going to do this, put out the number 1 here and the number 2 down here. Not expecting to get here. I don't want to type a lot of text, waste time there because I'm not expecting to get there. It doesn't look like we're hitting here at all though. Doesn't look like we're getting here either. We'll see what we got. All right, so there's right and left. Closing down TaleSpire, rebuilding. Rebuild all succeeded. Start it up. Okay, there's the wall. Cast it. I'm gonna flip sides. I hit the button.
26
Huh.
fire damage.
We found the matching one. My assumptions about parenting appear to be wrong. I'm getting out at exit point 1, which is this one right here. Do I just get rid of these? My assumptions about the parent. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of them for now. I felt like this would... Oh, wait. It's not... The parent isn't the effect. It's the parent.transform. That's what it is. All right, let's try that again. Let's try with there. I still want to... I like this error checking here because I want to make sure I don't do this with anything that might happen to have inadvertently a left or a right inside of it with the same name, since we're just using the names. So all I did is just added the word transform here and here. Those are the two changes I made. Let's see. Rebuild. We're good. Starting up. Okay, are we going to do the same error or not? Is it going to work? Oh, it just works.
Whoa, fire damage.
Sweet. That's awesome. So now I can have fire damage on the outside or on the inside. And anybody standing like within 10 feet of that is going to experience the damage. And that 10 feet is pretty well marked, right? It's pretty clear with the effect. And then it goes up all the way up 20 feet because of the nature of the effect. So that's pretty cool. It's cool. It's cool. Let's see if we're going to come in here like this too and create something as tight as we can around here. Okay, 60 feet you get. Casting it. Nice. Yeah, that guy looks
Fire
sufficiently
damage.
baked. Look at the last one though. Look at the last one. It's totally twisted the wrong way. There's sometimes we've seen this twice today, where the positioning of something, the rotation got totally flipped around. I can switch that so it goes out, and switch it back so it goes in. It's interesting. It's right. I think it was always the last one. Maybe we saw the last one maybe get rotated incorrectly. Okay, not bad. Keep an eye for this bug to try to understand what's happening there so I can get the math right on that. Cool. All right, that feels like that works. That looks like that works. All right, I continued to hit the button as it was going away. That's all good. All right, let's take out the error checking. Clean this up a bit. We don't need the warning messages anymore. That's all working. I'll comment that out, I think, for now. We don't need the messages. It seems to be working pretty well. The positioning of this last guy, the rotation of the last guy is what's problematic. If I continue this out and we cast it again, I wonder if that last one is still positioned wrong or if it works. Nope, it's still wrong.
24 fire damage.
Like, even its positioning is kind of wrong. Let me add a minute so it goes away. I just want to see. I've got two of these close together. I wonder if it has to do with the distance between them. If I make this distance like closer to 10 feet, if the problem goes away. I bet that does make it go away. I didn't need to do that. If I make these small, I bet I'm more likely to see the problem. Oh, and look at that. I thought it was a circle, but it was clearly not. Let's see what happens. Are you using .notebook features? I'm not. Okay, Bat Games. I do have CodeRush installed.
17 fire damage.
Yeah, that's a nightmare. That looks so intense. All right. Let's add a minute to the clock. Not using notebook features. I do have, I'm in Visual Studio 2019. I've got CodeRush inside, and I do have the ability with CodeRush to drop pictures into the code, which I do from time to time to assist with trying to figure out what's going on or to explain something that might be hard to otherwise understand. So that's what's happening there. But yeah, Visual Studio plus CodeRush. Okay, let's try one more time to see if we can duplicate, just get a little bit of a lead on the on what's happening. I'm going to do a smaller ring of fire right here. So the problem, I believe, comes from what's happening is we're putting all of these effects. Maybe I'll do this one again, make it a little bit bigger. I'll show how I'm anticipating this to work. If I make a nice big semicircle like that, we cast Wall of Fire on it. Wall of Fire, this is 72 feet. The Wall of Fire goes to 60 feet, which means it'll stop right about there. Everything looks like it's working well in terms of its position and rotation. All of these effects are pointing on the inside, not the outside. And then when I hit the flip button, they all switch and they all look good. Like that. So there's the inside, there's the outside. Okay, let's add a minute to the clock and make a smaller. We'll make a smaller circle now with tighter sides. So about 7, lengths of about 7 feet each. Okay. And cast it. I And now, some are facing out
26. Fire damage.
when they should be facing in. And when I swap them, they're facing in when they should be facing out. And it's because of, I'm pretty sure it's the math with shorter segments. Pretty sure that's the problem. If the segment is short. By the way, thanks for the follow, Mr. T. And OK Bad Games, thanks for the follow. Injured? No. You're talking about this? Not injured. These are, I'm wearing these. I've been wearing these for about 20 years, and they protect my wrists so that I can continue programming, you know, even into my older years. And I think they're effective. That's what's going on there. All right, where's my mouse on that monitor? Yeah, so I think that's the problem. If we look at the code for build wall, that's in this space. We just wrote this. We have in here, I think, a call to add wall segment, something like that. Where are we? We're in build wall segment already. Rotate effect to line up between the two ruler points. Position 2 is behind it. This is the problem, I think. We do a look at position 2. Position 2, we really need to almost create a position 3. That's far out in the distance. I think that'll fix it. So I've got the delta here as position 2 minus position 1. Do we get a distance between wall effects in feet? We have that. Let's introduce a local for this. Distance between wall effects in tiles. Like that. Then I want to create a new vector 3 called target point to look at. I'm going to say that's equal to, wouldn't it be awesome if we just figured this out? Position 1 plus delta times distance between wall effects in tiles I could, yeah, I'm going to do that. And I'm going to say times 2. I'm just going to push it out there. Make sure that target point is far enough away. So target point to look at, and now I want to use that here, right there. And then what's this degrees offset right here? Where do we get that from? Well, that's if my rotation is icy. Okay, cool. I think that might work. Okay, let's see if that works. Wouldn't that be sweet if we just solved that, what seemed like really hard problem, and just a little bit of cleverness? All right, let's rebuild it. It looks like that succeeded, starting up TaleSpire on the second machine. Watch that load up. I think this might fix it. I was looking at that problem and I was like, oh, how am I going to fix that? It's like this kind of edge case where every once in a while one of them's just twisted around, looking the wrong way. I am super hopeful about this. Yeah, so in case I wasn't super clear, what I did is I took the delta, which is essentially the vector between 1 to 2, and I multiplied it by made sure it was at least, it was just further out. Actually, this delta shouldn't be a distance. Well, this is not quite right. This should be like normalized times that. Now I feel better about that. Is that true? Oh wait, what's the segment length? Available wall length. We don't really know what the segment length is. All right, I'm going to take out normalize because that's not what we had. Let's just see what we get to, if that works or not. It could be a little more subtle than that. All right, the steps to reproduce are to create a tight circle and cast wall of fire inside the tight circle. Okay, so there's my tight circle.
Fire damage.
Yeah, is it working or not? It's hard to tell because the. Okay, here we go. So this first one looks correct. Second one. Well, this one right, oops, sorry kids, sorry about that. Let me get you over so you can see what I'm looking at. The second one, this one right here does seem lined up with this line back behind it. So it gets added on in that segment. It does look better to me. If I switch to the outside, yeah. It does look better. Let's try a different line. Let's see how good we are. Those are kind of, I'm buying that those are mostly inside.
Fire damage.
And those are mostly outside. Inside, outside. Even though they're not all quite lined up, it's because we've got these tight kind of corners and we're spacing and saying, well, every 10 feet we're going to draw this or something like that. It's not bad. And typically we're going to be using bigger, larger circles anyway. Okay. Let's go do something a little more realistic that we would be doing. Yeah, that's way more realistic.
Fire damage.
Yeah, it's cool. Switching the damage side so the player gets to decide which side of the wall the damage exists on. I'm wondering, yeah, I'm kind of thinking just from a cleanup side of things, we make this base be not so wide from here to here. Just tighten that up. because one side of the wall has no damage at all. Same thing with this kind of effect coming right out of here, right there. You really only want that coming to one side of the wall. But overall, I think it's pretty good. I'm also wondering a little bit about those the flames, the height of the flames. Technically, it's correct. So if you look up here, the height, I'm talking about the height right up here.
Fire damage.
Where are we? Right over there. The height of these little, there we go. These little kind of feathery things right here. That height right there is 20 feet, and it's technically correct, but just from a look, I'm just not sure about it entirely. That's exactly what I want to do or not. Like, I do like that it's technically correct. So if we had multiple floors, you would see the damage where, you know, you would easily see where the damage would occur. Yeah, but it's pretty good. Okay, I think we'll call that a show. We'll see you tomorrow. Let me get a raid going up. Tomorrow we'll continue working on this TaleSpire and the walls. We're going to get the walls, I think. We're going to track each individual segment of the walls. That's something we need. If you haven't seen this yet, I'll leave you with Wall of Ice. I think I still have the ability to do that. Let's see if we can cast Wall of Ice in the same spot. There we go. Wall of Ice also looking kind of super cool. Super cool there.
Cold damage.
All right, who are we going to raid? Obother's out there. We'll send you over to Obother. Always doing cool stuff with electricity. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow. Continue it, and talk to you later. Have a good day.